Yeah, and I really stopped. And then you gonna go north. And I really stopped listening to you guys when you said Babylon was Vatican or something, man. All right, and it's just really you guys keep changing up the what's it called? Keep changing up the doctrine to try to further separate yourself from the alphabet group, which y'all so call it, man. All right, that's what y'all whole main goal is. What's originally been taught is not what's key to the scriptures, the context of the scriptures. See, that's what all this GMS, IUCPK, all this, that's what they all got in common. They all teach the same exact thing, but the thing they've been teaching is not what's in context of the scriptures. So they try to change it up, thinking that they're going to be different somehow, thinking we're going to get followers or we're going to do this, we're going to do that because we're different. All right,
heaping to themselves followers.
Yeah, you know they're not. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just it's crazy because I see people like that in school. You know, they try to do something out the norm. Like everybody will be doing it this way, but they'll be doing it. They'll be doing wrong too, but they'll be doing it a different type of wrong just because everybody else is doing it this way. Just want to stand out. Like that's what they get the high off of. They get the high off of. Well, I'm different. I'm doing this. I'm doing this different. But they're still doing it wrong though. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point. Is it don't matter which way you cut it. You might cut the apple sideways, diagonal, circle, but if you're not cutting it straight down the middle, then you're doing it wrong.
God damn it, it's wrong.
Yeah, right. It's wrong. And it's crazy because that's the way the spirit is. The scripture says what? The broad way. Yeah. You know? Straight gate, man. There's only one right way, and then guess what? If it's not that right way, it's a wrong. Yeah. Automatically.
Shortcut. Go ahead. All right, that's scripture for you. 1 Timothy 4:1 says, "Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith."
And this most definitely is the latter times, because basically latter times means later times. Yeah. You know? That's why we say we've been in the latter times ever since Yahweh Shai went back to the Father, man. It's just later times. It's just now we're more in the later times.
Yep, because we waiting on him to come back.
Yeah, now we waiting on him to come back.
Yep, you know? He left.
So now what? Some shall depart from the faith. So this is gonna happen. You know?
Yep. It says giving heed to seducing spirits. Because basically that's a demon. That's a demon. Alright? And it says, yep, Con is coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up now.
It says, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
And notice where it says seducing spirits, man, which means what? They're gonna seduce you, all right? That means what? They're gonna sound real good. They're gonna come in a way that's gonna make you feel good about yourself. It's gonna come in a mesmerizing. Matter of fact, they got that word. I believe that word comes from the Greek. You got it. Go ahead.
That word seducing in the Greek is planos. It says wandering, roving, misleading.
Yeah, matter of fact, they got a woman with a snake for hair, and her name is Sedusa. Medusa. You know, and what's one of her powers? If you look at her eyes, you turn into stone, man. Mm-hmm. All right. That's that seducing spirit, man. Because what you might just to show you if you really, because what the eyes is what the window to the soul. So if you really pay attention to that, what you're trying to seduce you, it's what's gonna lead you. It's gonna lead you to vanity, man. It's gonna lead you to, just like the scripture says in what is it Psalm Proverbs the 5th chapter, man. But the ending of her is bitterness.
Yeah, 7,
you know?
Proverbs 7.
It's gonna be bitterness.
Yeah.
Got it, bro.
Yeah, it's back to that word. It says seducing, misleading, leading into error, a vagabond, tramp, imposter, corrupter, deceiver.
And this is all seducing, man. And seducing you further from the truth, man. So these are seducing spirits. All right, so what's those people that's gonna they already got seduced? They're gonna come in a seducing spirit. All right.
Yeah, and then it says in doctrines of devils, and that Babylon being the Vatican, that's the doctrine of the devil. First of all, who the devil? The word devil means deceiver. So who the great deceiver? The so-called white man. Remember when I first came to the truth, when I came up to the camp, I had a book in my hand, and it was talking about how the Babylon was the Vatican. It was a book from the library, and it was talking about how the Babylon, because I was searching for the truth, you know, trying to see what was going on, and that's what it said. It said it was trying to go into different little things about Babylon is the Vatican, but who came up with that? the devil. That's the doctrine of a devil.
Yep.
All right. So it says, you got something?
No, I want to say you notice everything that we basically say. We preach about the scriptures. It ain't nowhere found in the Christian belief. You know, I can't think of one. I can't think of single thing that we agree with the Christians. Now, of course, secular history, you know, stuff like that. But I'm talking about breakdown wise. The Christians don't go into reincarnation. Mm-hmm. Christians don't go into the Israelites being the only people of the Lord. The scriptures don't go about. The Christians don't go about the Lord only dying for Israel and don't care about Israel. You know.
Hebrews 11:3. It says, I'll start at the top. It says, because basically this is, at the end of the day, it's all faith. Mm-hmm. Like I told this one person, she believes she don't. Well, here's a woman. Just for the sake, it's just an example. Give an example. Because she understands she Israelite, but she didn't understand the concept of confusion of faces. Well, I told her, well, you don't got proof of your lineage. How do you know that your ancestors weren't raped by the so-called white man? And if you check your lineage, your father is actually an Edomite. All right? So you can't prove it. All right? But it's what? It's through faith, and it's by the Spirit. All right? So it says, Hebrews 11:1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Exactly. And when it boils down to it, like Elder Apostle Tahar and Elder Apostle Gabar always say, when it boils down to it, man, this whole entire, our belief is all by faith, man. We're going to see who's going to have the right knowledge when the Lord comes back, man. Everything, there's no factual based knowledge where we can go into the depths of history and prove every single thing we're saying. All right? Like Brother Kaya has said, man, for when you read Deuteronomy, when you read about the nations, you read about the 12 tribes, and you distinguish what tribe is what through the apostle Els. First, you must believe it because it came out the Bible. That's that alone, and then everything else, history, you know, the signs and everything else, that should be just an add-on bonus to your faith, you know.
Yep. And then verse 2 says, "For by it the elders obtained a good report." So that's order. See. It says, it's always, I will give you pastors according to mine heart. Yep. All right. Give double honor to the elders that rule well. Mm-hmm. I will give you, restore your judges at the first. It's always, it's order. It's faith and it's order too. Verse 3, through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High. So what does the Bible say? That all things was created by him and for him, and without him was not anything made. In John 1:1, all right? It don't say a big bang and the planetesimals collide and all this, etc. It don't say that. Which it takes faith to believe in a lot of that scientific theory anyway. But the point is, it says, through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High. So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. But the inverse to that scripture. What's that scripture? Let's see. This is Titus chapter 1 verse I'm gonna start at 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers.
Mm-hmm. Especially what?
Especially they of the circumcision.
Exactly, man. So a majority of these people is gonna come from that knows they're Israelites.
It says whose mouths must be stopped, and that's how we doing it. You fight the lies with truth. Oh, you say this? Oh, I'm right here. Got this, the scripture, and then you come to find out when you listen, it's like they're saying exactly the opposite of what the scriptures say, because we're only dealing with the title right now. But we watched you know.
We suffered a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes of that.
Right. It says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, all right, just mislead a whole family, teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake, all right? And let's see what lucre is. Lucre is gain or advantage. Yep. So that can be money, that could be
esteemed, appraised.
Yep, appraised, yep. It says, one of themselves, even the prophet of their own, said, The Cretans are always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies. This witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply that they may be sound in the faith. That's what's going on. Because the scripture says all scripture is given for reproof, rebuke, that the man of righteousness shall be thoroughly furnished. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Verse 14, not giving heed to Jewish fables. And who are the Jewish people? So-called white people, devils. All right, giving doctrines of devils. And commandments of men that turn from the truth. People coming up with their own laws. Oh, you got to do this and that. All right, do this, that, and the third. But this is the point. Verse 15, unto the pure all things are pure. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. That's why they got to go back and forth and rewrite the whole doctrine. Because none of it, they defiled and unbelieving. All right. It says, but even their mind and conscience is defiled. Right. Getting linings. All right. Again, and the scripture clearly says, you shall not mar the edges of your beard and the corners of your forehead. And that word mar means destroy.
Yeah. And what's up when not going out? Like, which I didn't want to say every brother in GMS knew that was gonna happen, but you know what's the breakdown of not going out? Because it seems like y'all do radio stations now. What's the breakdown of not going out no more?
Don't nobody listen to the radio like
no.
You know. But you know that's all I had.
I got one more scripture. This is Jude chapter 1 verse 10. It says, but these speak evil of those. Like, let me start from I'm gonna start from 8. It says, likewise also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities.
That's order. Dignities basically leaders, elders, apostles. You got it, bro.
It says, yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he dispute about the body of Moses, durst not
bring railing accusations.
Durst not bring railing accusations, but said, the Lord rebuked thee. But these speak evil of those. But these speak evil of those things which they know not, but what they know naturally are brutish beasts. In those things they corrupt themselves. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedy after the error of Balaam, and for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Korah.
And that's epic, all right, because that's that gainsaying of Korah. And what did Korah? What did they say? The spirit of the Lord only dealing with you.
Right, you're getting old in your old age.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So they basically that's them to a T, man. They separate from the elders because they got kicked out because they was teaching some fucked up doctrine, which they don't even still teach right now.
Right.
You know. And then
it's like I was gonna say, he ain't on their sign when they had the sign.
Right.
He never put Dan on the sign.
Right. And I forgot all about that. They got completely rid of the sign. So now, really, what you got kicked out for is not. That's what Apostle Hall always bring down. Is what give not give what it says fuck, I can't think of it. Basically, don't follow a man that's subject to change.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Basically, you know, and they subject to change because every 3 months it's something new. It's something really, to be honest, it's not really something new. It's something they try to perfect. They look like, oh, well, they say Deuteronomy such and such, let's perfect that. Oh, they say missiles in the scriptures, let's perfect that. Oh, they say the 12 tribes of signs, oh, let's perfect. They call themselves perfecting something, which really, like the brother said, man, they're actually speaking opposite of what the scriptures say, man. All right?
And if you take away what the scriptures say about the Israelites, you take away our identity, you open it up for any and everybody to claim Israel.
Right.
So now you're essentially becoming Christians.
Exactly. Because now you took away the sign of saying, I'm not saying that the
Christ ain't Israelites.
You know, I'm not saying Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are not Israelites. It's just you don't know who is who. I mean, then you know what that causes? That causes confusion. You know, and we all know what the Lord is the author of. All right, or not the author of. So if you're just saying you're an Israelite, well, what tribe? What tribe do you? you're an Israelite. You know. Now I'm not saying we know that goes back into the faith, but guess what? That gives you an a
like
sense
a
of order.
point, yeah.
Right. It's like a reference point. It's a sense of order. You know. That's all I got to say on it, man.
You know.
All right. So if we done it right here, man, we gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, the mothers to the elders and apostles, great millstone, and peace and salutation to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely. All right, that was Shalom.
Shalom.